Heyyo GOAT format players, it's Skill Brown Magician here, and I'm back with part 2 of the 12 GOAT format deck profiles. I know it's been a while, I'm one day late, I know, I'm sorry about that, but here are the next 6 profiles, and I gotta be honest with you guys, these are actually my favorite of the 6. We have such a diverse lineup, and a lot of them are really fun, really spicy, using cards we don't usually get to see. This is why I love GOAT format. I have Exchange Zombies, which revolves around this crazy spell card. The entire deck has to revolve around this card. Taiyou Keepers, which is a really fun and interesting take on the ordinary Gravekeeper deck. And then we have Union Hangar, which is kind of like a throwback, kind of like a shout out to the ABC field spell card. Back when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, one of my homies, he was using a structure deck, and it was the ABC structure deck. So it's basically the GOAT format version of Union Hanger and how you can special summon out these uh, basically Xyz monsters, which I'll show you what I mean. Then we have Ninja Beasts, which is actually a modified and updated version of my Ninja Insects deck from way back in the day. Man, my Ninja Insects deck, that one got a lot of love. I'll leave a link in the video for you guys to click on if you want to check that out. And then I have Smoke Free Drain. I had a patent. It was Jimica Patton had commented on my video last time saying that I was one of his favorite GOAT format content creators, or his favorite uh, GOAT format content creator, and man, I had to make him a deck. He wanted to see my take on hand control, so I came up with Smoke Free Drain. I'm really excited about that deck. That one's actually a lot of fun. Been piloting that one recently. And lastly, Orca Gate, which is my favorite of the 12. I'll save that one for last. That one is so much fun. So let's get into it. Exchange Zombies. This deck, it is revolving around this crazy spell card with the dopest card art. It literally has Exodia, Mirror Force, Raigeki, Pot of Greed, Time Wizard, Dark Magician. Man, it has all these like OG cards and you're like swapping cards. Like, what is this madness going on? Just beautiful, symmetrical card art. And the card effect, both players reveal their hands and add one card from each other's hand to their hand. It's exactly like the card art. You look into their hand, pull one of their cards out, add it to your hand, and they do the same to you. So how do you get around this? You have to build your whole deck around exchange. So that's exactly what I had to do. I actually bumped into this guy on Dueling Book way back a long time ago, and he was running this deck, and he was the one that inspired my take on it, which is Exchange Zombies, because the monster lineup works perfectly with exchange. So here's the reason why I'm running 3 sets of recruiters. We have Pyramid Turtle, Giant Rat. Obviously, we know the synergy there. Giant Rat into Pyramid, into your boss monsters here, your boss zombies. Then we got Mystic Tomato going into your dark package. I threw in Cyberstein. It's a tech, a little more aggro, but that one's actually pretty fun. We got Sangin going into Serp, and then we have Nimble Momonga, which is not as common. And if this card's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you just gain 1,000 life points. Then you can special summon any number of Nimble Momonga from your deck in face down defense position. It's super dope. You can swarm the field. You're gaining life points back, and yeah, he summons out 2 at a time, and they can eat a knock, for sure. What's great about all these recruiters is that under exchange, when you give your opponent, if they look into your hand and you only have recruiters and they pluck out a recruiter, guess what? When that recruiter gets destroyed by battle, you get the special summon effect. So let's say you have a Pyramid Turtle that they take from your hand because you loaded your hand so that they could only take recruiters, and they're stuck with Pyramid Turtle. So they take the Pyramid Turtle. The next turn, you draw into your Giant Rat. You swing over the Pyramid Turtle, and guess what? You get the special summon because it goes back to your graveyard, and you get the Pyramid Turtle's effect to special summon a Ryukaki or a Vampire Lord from deck. So that's the spice with exchange. Basically, the whole premise of the deck is that you need to be giving them crummy cards with exchange. Give them a Book of Life. It's not often that you're gonna run into, another zombie player. Sometimes, yes. So you don't always want to give people Book of Lives, but most of the time they're not running a zombie package, so you can give them Book of Life, and it doesn't really matter. You could load up your hand with maybe a extra copy of Exchange. Who cares if they take that? Or maybe you want to give them a copy of Nobleman because you don't really need that, and you're never sending your monsters anyways, right? So you can load it, and obviously, if they take one of your recruiters, it's great for you. So that's the whole premise of Exchange. Zombies also, we have Giant Germ, which is an alternative to Nimble Momonga. This one inflicts 500 damage instead, and you special summon these guys in attack position instead of face down defense. So that's something you can also swap out. So that's the lineup. This deck's really fun. You can go for some aggro pushes with Cyberstein. You know, stealing a Trinity piece from their opening hand, you guys, just feels ridiculous. This card, it literally lets you handpick from their hand on your first turn. They have a fresh set of 5 cards. You can pull out one of their Trinity pieces, see what else they have in their hand, and then guess what? You're giving them one of your recruiters, which you're going to get advantage on later, anyways. Super dope. This is a fun deck to play. Um, so yeah, there you go. That is the first one, Exchange Zombies. The next one, we're rolling into Taiyou Keepers. You guys had mentioned, you had even given out shout outs to the guy I was dueling where he was playing Taiyou Keepers. And this is my take on it, and it's a little more aggro, as you can see by some spicy flips that I'm running. But it's centered around Book of Taiyou. I love playing different cards and trying to be as competitive with these kind of, out of the normal cards that we use or see, and just how far can we take them, and what kind of fun decks can we brew up with it that are still competitive and can still get wins. So this deck, instead of Exchange, it is revolved around Book of Taiyou, which is flip one face down, monster on the field into face up attack position. You see this in a lot of empty jar decks, definitely. And man, this is just like such a spicy card, and we're running the best, arguably the best flips in the game, and the Gravekeeper package. And why not just combine this with a ton of flips and Necro Valley and Solemns to back it up with some Book of Moons, and let's just run all of like the coolest flip monsters, so that way we can set our flip monster, and then just flip it immediately, get its effect off, and just swarm the field with different Gravekeepers to out, the opponent's boards. So you can set Gravekeeper Spy, flip with Book of Taiyou, boom, let's summon out a Gravekeeper Spear Soldier to go piercing on a goat token for 2k, right? If we have Necro Valley up. Or we can bring out Gravekeeper's Assailant to take out their Jinzo, so that our Solemn Judgments are back online, right? So there's just so many different things. Obviously, we're playing the jars. So this is like the ideal combo, you guys. It feels disgusting to like have your opening hand, you know, go into Necro Valley, set all of your traps, have a set Book of Moon, have Solemn set, have your, traps, just have everything set, then just go set Morphing Jar, activate Book of Taiyou, draw 5, your opponent discards 5, they can't do anything about any of those cards in the graveyard because you have Necro Valley up. This the combinations in this deck is just so much fun. Setting Morphing Jar, flipping Book of Taiyou, so much fun. Setting Cyber Jar, then going Book of Taiyou, going into all of your level 4 monsters. Man, this is so much fun. The spice flip that I run is Slate Warrior. He's the Wind Fiend, level 4 flip monster with, I think, the highest attack. He has 1900 attack, 400 defense. He has all of these cool effects. Flip. This card gains 500 attack and defense. He basically can crash into monarchs, swing over Chaos Sorcerer, basically clear any level 4. I think it can even what it crashes into Dark Metal Dragon, which is like I think the highest level 4 attack. So yeah, Slate Warrior, dude, he's crazy with this flip effect. Also, if he's destroyed by battle, whatever kills him, that monster loses 500 attack and defense. You guys, like, this monster, he's so much fun. He's so fun in a deck that's trying to abuse Book of Taiyou. You just bring him out, and now you have a 2400 beater, and you have him swinging under Necro Valley, and he's backed by Solemn Judgment. And you have Book of Moon. Like, this deck, it's just so much fun. Playing the Mind Control, because just really just stealing their flip effects, especially because if you can steal their Spy, man, that is, everyone runs spies, so if you can mind control their spy, we're playing the Gravekeeper package. This deck is so much fun. Check this one out. This one's a lot of fun. I really like playing Taiyou Keepers. So there's that. Also, Union Hangar, man, you guys, that frontline base from last week's deck, I had to re-engineer it and use it how it was meant to be used. I just found like the perfect combo. I don't know if people have thought of this before. I, I should have done more research and watched all of the different videos. I know, what is it? Uh, what is his name? The retro. I'm forgetting his name. He's that one GOAT format channel, and he literally has every deck. Um, he probably has a Union or a frontline based deck list. But anyways, enough rambling. This is my Turbo XYZ Dragon Cannon deck. The whole purpose is to abuse frontline base to special summon out your different Union monsters in Z Metal Tank and Y Dragon Head, then normal summon into X Head, Y Dragon, or Z Metal Tank, whatever you have in hand. You're running triple of each. You're running triple Dekoichi. You got the Jinzo to tribute over and turn off their traps. We also have, BLS because we're running a really nice light to dark ratio. We have, the standard lineup. What's not so standard is we're playing frontline base, which if you didn't see last week's, you should totally check out last week's and see the 6 deck profiles there. I do a chaos based version of this deck. But you once per turn special summon a level 4 lower Union monster from your hand. So it allows you to turbo into any of your um any of your 2 tribute fusion monsters, 2 tribute. Yeah, you have like XY, we have XZ, and then we have YZ. You can basically, if you have both, any of these combinations in hand, any 2 of these in hand, and a frontline base, you just go special summon one of them, normal summon the other, tribute both of them off, boom. Now you can just fusion summon right away. This is the only um, archetype. This is the only type of cards that actually do this in GOAT format, where it's kind of like the you can just banish the fusion materials from your field, and you don't have to even use polymerization, which is super dope. And because we're banishing the targets away, that's what leads into our one of our win conditions, return from the different dimension, because you can banish off all of these different pieces. We also have BLS banishing off our lights and darks. If the Koichi gets knocked, we have even more fodder for return from the different dimension. And then guess what? You bring your monsters back, and then you're just attacking with all these machines. You're swinging in with just all of these different, like, not ritual, fusion monsters. This is so much fun. They all have, like, cool discard effects, where that's why we have Sangan searching into Sinister Serpent, hopefully speed drawing through the deck with our triple copies of Dekoichi, right? Even if Dekoichi gets knocked, there goes 3 cards from the deck, so it ultimately does thin the deck. We're using double mind control because you just want to take their monsters and clear their field of any monsters so you can swing in, because we do run the copy of limiter removal for just these quick OTKs out of nowhere. Also solemns just to make sure everything goes through. This deck is so much fun. I think this is like, if I were to build this in real life, this would be the way that I would want to build this deck. I just think it's so fun and thematic with frontline base and just being able to turbo them out. And guess what, you guys, you if you use return from the different dimension, let's say you have 2 of these on field, you also have Call of the Haunted and Prima, so going into XYZ is actually not a long shot. So please don't feel like XYZ Dragon Cannon is impossible to summon, because his discard effect to just keep discarding cards and destroying your opponent's cards is so good, and it's not a once per turn. You can bring him out. There are many ways. But when you banish off all of these materials, and then you go into your battle phase, you attack with your big, beefy, you know, fusion monster. If you use return from the different dimension, you bring back these materials, they're going to get banished again at the end phase because of return's effect. You can just banish these again to bring out another big boy, and then these don't just get wasted and then go back to the banish pile. You can use them to create another monster, which you can sit on hopefully until the next turn if you weren't able to close out game for whatever reason, if they threatening roar you or Karibo you for whatever, whatever crazy circumstance it may be. But man, this is just like a fun deck. I hope you guys check it out. Man, everyone loves, machines in GOAT format, and especially XYZ. And just they're like the first ones to like contact fusion into these dope machine combinations of, the original monsters. So check this deck out as well. If you guys have been enjoying the content, please give me like a like, subscribe, comment down below which one's your favorite. Here is Ninja Beasts. Man, I love ninjutsu art of transformation. It's such a spicy card, and comboing it with the beast package instead of the insect package this time, and you'll see why. So the whole premise is running ninjas and running this continuous trap card, which reads, activate this card by attributing a face-up ninja monster, special summon a beast, winged beast, or insect monster from your hand or deck whose level is less than or equal to the level the attributed monster had on the field, +3. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. Kind of has like the Call of the Haunted effect, where it's attached to the monster that you summon, but you're not summoning from the graveyard, you're summoning from your hand, which is alright, or directly from the deck. And not only that, it's going to be a beast, wing beast, or insect monster. Like I said, I have my Ninja Insects deck profile where I do this, but with the ultimate insects instead of Behemoth, the king of all animals. And that one's cool. But this one, you're tributing off a Ninja Grandmaster and you're replacing him with a 2700 attacker, and he's Earth. And also, when Behemoth is even in your hand, he has such a great tribute effect, where when he's tribute summoned, you get to target beast monsters in your graveyard equal to the number of monsters you tributed and return them to hand. Guess what? This is an aggro build. We're playing triple of the monkey, 2K beater, and just to shut down all of their little like recruiter plays, to shut down any of their little tiny guys, we got triple copies of King Tiger Wangu. And guess what? Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke can be tributed with ninjutsu to bring out King Tiger Wangu. So you can actually just like, if they go into scapegoat, you can actually um tribute off Grandmaster, bring out King Tiger Wangu, and their scapegoat gets wasted. Dude, like I think the beast package with ninjutsu is actually way better. This deck is like super fun. I like this one a lot. Uh yeah, I would definitely tell you guys to check this one out. I love beatdown decks, and then this one, just being able to attack for 18 and then tribute off ninja, bring out Behemoth, and just like it's so true to the card art where like you're throwing down the smoke bomb and you're transforming from a ninja into this like crazy huge level 7 earth beast, which like goes in for game with for 2700. It's like ridiculous. We got the special summons and gigantes. We got enraged battle ox to just make all of our beasts piercers. We only need to run 2 copies. Man, this deck so much fun. You guys check it out. Running Zing. We got Dust Tornado. We obviously have MST Heavy, double solemns. We got My Body as a Shield to hold in hand, and just to say nope to your Mirror Force, nope to the Torrential, and then just go in for game. You're holding this in hand, it's not even on the field, so they don't even know that you have the negate in hand. This deck, it's so much fun, you guys. check this one out. I'm saying that for every deck profile, but it's really because like I really like these six compared to the last six. Not that I didn't like the last six. I just like these ones better. So here's Smoke Free Drain. Basically, that homie on the last video, he said, "Yo, dude," I asked him, "What's like your favorite archetype?" And he said he's been working on like a hand control. And a long time ago, I ran into this um, counter trap card in Magic Drain, and it's just perfect for the hand control theory. I love it in a gear free deck, just taking stuff out of their hand, combining with Smoke Free. It just gets really nasty when you start to see all of the synergy with the different cards and just the precarious position you can put your opponent in. And man, you it really is hand control. And I'm getting over excited. Let me explain what Magic Drain does, which is one of the main cards. Magic Drain, it's a counter trap, so you can chain it pretty much to anything. Um, it says when your opponent activates a spell card, any type of spell, they can discard one spell to negate this card's effect. Otherwise, you negate the activation of their spell card, and if you do, destroy it. So, let me reiterate. If you have Magic Drain set and they activate Pot of Greed, if you chain Magic Drain, it's going to negate the Pot of Greed unless they discard another spell card from their hand. This is the premise of hand control. We're trying to just get rid of stuff in their hand. Guess what? Everyone has to use spells. Everyone loves to use spells. We have Trinity for a reason, right? So when they drop that Trinity piece, you hit them with the Magic Drain. If they don't have spells in hand, then it just gets negated. If they do have spells in hand, then they might have to discard it just for their spell cards to go off. So this is why it's so much fun. And with Gearfried and Smoke Grenade of the Thief, it makes it really easy to manipulate their hand so that they have no more spells. So your magic drains are just going off clean. I just really like this deck. I'm really thankful for the sub who recommended this because it was a lot of fun to put this deck together and like play it and pilot it lately. So this is Smoke Grenade of the Thief, which combos with Gearfried the Iron Knight. Super dope combo. Basically, Gearfried destroys anything that gets equipped to him, and Smoke Grenade of the Thief has an effect where when it's destroyed by a card effect, which is destroyed by Gearfried, you get to just look at your opponent's hand straight up and discard one card from their hand. We're using that. We're using Magic Drain to control their hand, Double Trap Dust Shoot to control their hand. We obviously have Zalug. Man, this deck is just so much fun. The combination, Magic Drain is just such a nasty card. Combining it with Smoke Grenade of the Thief and the Gearfried combo to snipe a spell card out of their hand, and then when they try to use their, spell next turn, just say no with Magic Drain. And it's just so much fun. And even if they do allow their spell card to go through, they have to discard another one of their spells to do it. So this deck's just a lot of fun. A really nifty way of playing Gearfried, and it's just my own take on how I would control my opponent's hand size. So there you go. And last but definitely not least, it's my favorite of the 12, Orca Gate. Man, you guys, I just have like an affinity for water. Water actually has to do with my last name. So I'm always rooting for water, and I just love Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness because it's just such a ridiculous name. And then also, he has a really cool effect, and I was just like, how can I make him even better? And what kind of deck can I throw him into where it can really maximize him and I could just swarm the field with orcas and just dominate my opponent with killer orcas? And here's what I came up with: Orca Gate. I'm actually not running Legendary Ocean. I know people might be like, what? You're playing water and you're playing, like Watergate and you're not playing Legendary Ocean. Why are you doing that? Well, the reason is I don't even really care about the effect that Legendary Ocean lowers their level by one, um, because that's just another piece when honestly I'm trying to special summon out Orca not normal summoning him from hand. I'm trying to bring him out with either Monster Gate or Reasoning, right? So I just skipped the Legendary Ocean package altogether. I really wanted to minimize my monster count so that I could just get into DMOC right away. I I played around with this a lot. I only wanted to play the better tribute for Orga's effect. Orca reads, he can tribute two monsters, two specific water type monsters, either torpedo fish or cannonball spear shellfish, which are all on his card artwork, by the way. And basically, you can either with torpedo fish destroy a monster, or with cannonball spear shellfish destroy a spell or trap. For me, in a reasoning gate deck, I know that I'm packing heavy on back row or back row trap, spell trap removal in triple giant trinade and double royal decree. So I knew that I wouldn't need cannonball, so I just doubled up on the torpedo fish, and I actually really like. There are times when it's really good for you to get him off of monster gate or reasoning because you can clear out your opponent's monsters that may be blocking the way, or maybe they have like a troublesome monster that you've just been trying to clear and you already have a orca on field, right? So torpedo fish is definitely the better of the two, at least in a reasoning gate deck, because you are running back row removal, so removing their monsters is more important. So man, I've been blowing people up with this deck. I think it's just hilarious seeing multiple copies of like this orca on the field, and then Abyss Soldier is just so nasty in the deck because you have so many waters, and it's actually beneficial a lot of the times to discard waters because you're going to be able to banish them to special summon out your different water banishers, and then we're playing the double dimension fusion package with DMOC. It just gets really crazy, and I pulled off like some ridiculous combos. I have some matches and replays that I have to show you guys. I really love this deck, and man, seeing Orca in a Reasoning Gate deck and just the levels in this deck are so funky because I'm running 2 level 3s, 2 level 4s, 3 level 5s. No one ever calls 5. And then obviously, we got DMOC and Sinister Serp just because it's so beneficial to have, a recurring monster in hand and something we can tribute over for, Orca. It's something we can discard for Abyss Soldier. It's something that we can use for Monster Gate. It's something that can just be a chump blocker. It could be discard fodder for monster reincarnation, card destruction, graceful charity. It's just versatile. There are occasions where you hit the Sinister Serpent off your reasoning in your monster gate, and yes, it is a bummer. But I guess if you want, take it out, and you could, just take it out and run one less, monster. But I think it's beneficial to have him, especially because this deck you can normal summon. There's a lot of times where you're going to be setting your torpedo fish turn one, or you're going to be setting Serp, or you're going to be normal summoning Abyss Soldier and just dealing some chip damage that way, backed by a decree or something in a swords. So this deck, it's really fun. I love the monster reincarnation. Being able to grab back a Benrir to banish two of your water monsters, which turns on your dimension fusion play. It's just really fun. Monster reincarnation is such a nice tech, especially being able to grab back a normal summonable Abyss Soldier to just bounce back any card that they have. And Abyss Soldier's effect to discard a water might be beneficial to you. There's just so many combos and synergies. I really love this deck. I'm going to be showing gameplay of this deck for sure. I'm cooking up the thumbnail now. It's going to look dope. So I hope you guys look out for it. These are the last 6 of the 12 GOAT format deck profiles. I know I've been out for a while. I do want to post more content, and I do have more deck profiles that I've been excited about and I've been working on. If you have any recommendations for things that you'd like to see built, please leave them down below. I'm starting to amass content that I want to build out for the future, and I want to start doing the subscriber recommended series again. So please let me know in the comments if you stayed till the end to listen to this. Let me know that you stayed till the end, and I'll ring you up right to the top of the list, and I'll try to cook up something for you. I hope you guys enjoyed these 6 profiles. It's always fun. Hope you guys, try them out. I'll leave the download Links in the video description below. And take care, guys. Peace.